Hi, Aquarius. Whew. Aries season, happy spring, happy astrological new year. Cards fell out, so I'm gonna wait. So you're already like preparing for Taurus season, and there's already questionings coming up for you. So also, this could be about a Taurus in your life, more feminine figure, someone, it could be a motherly figure as well, someone that you regard highly. They're proposing it seems like they're really proposing a question to you, and there's a question that you're asking yourself about what you really, really want. Aries season is about the self for all of us in different ways, in each sign's different way. And like what, it's about yourself, but like what, that very specific thing that makes you you, and it's questioning that part. You also perhaps have a choice between Taurus and Aries if you're in a romantic situation. That could be possible too. Though I do think for most of you it's about where you are asking yourself what is important for you, and what is important for you to be really adamant about, very honest about, what boundaries you need and certain things that you need that have possibly kept you stuck. And I mean stuck physically, and let me rephrase that. It's not that you're stuck. It seems like you have like maybe this even pro and con about where you're integrating certain things, and that's what's forcing you to feel stuck or seem stuck. Though you're being asked, so the Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords coming out, is you're being asked to use what you've learned internally outwardly. Because when you walk away and you finally make that last draw, when you come to the awareness that this thing has done the same thing and maybe appearing in different forms for a while now, and now in order to move forward fully, I need to allow this to be cleared out. And that's what's really important right now, because what you come through to on the other side or move towards through Aries season is allowing yourself the space and structure, both. Because if you don't, you could constantly be going back and forth about trusting this vision that you have, that you know it's what you want to do, and questioning if it is worth it. You don't know until you go for it, even if it's not the norm, even if it's not what has been or what was or anything like that, because Taurus season is going to propose the same question as well. And you could get a lot done this season. And by the end of it, towards the end of the season, it seems like you're going to. There's a drive in you. There's a drive in you that continues to move, need rest, so that you can continue to cut out all the things that weren't grounded and rooted. that were only causing you to question and doubt your capabilities, possibly, or a person. Because if a person is constantly offering you something that looks great, yet at the same time can jump at any minute, that fish, when that was shown to me, I love that. It comes up sometimes, not all the time with this card, but it could jump at any moment. So you're constantly on the edge. So it's possible that you finally have to like lay to bed, lay to rest. It's like the same thing, using the swords in a productive way to lay to rest this idea of someone, even including yourself. This idea of yourself that you are now aware is just this idea as you move forward. It's not who you are becoming. It's not who you really are. It's just this idea that once was more of you at one point. And now you're beginning to shift and see what is really important for you to trust in your vision, or to trust in someone else's who doesn't seem really sure about it themselves. So understanding that those two things are essentially the same. And because you're a sign that's moving into Saturn, you're in Jupiter, responsibility, discipline, and then luck. So doing those two things for yourself, I feel, can only bring prosperity at the end of it. So the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Swords. So it's ending the cycle of having to work harder for someone else when you could do the same work for yourself and become maybe prosperous and just use that more. It seems very specific. And it's a lot about just like the physical, it's like the earthly things. It's like showing you how human we really are. Like what's been in your heart for X amount of years may have worked, and now if you want to move this way, then your heart also needs to shift. Those values need to shift. What you say yes to, what you say no to, all those things need to shift too. So it's not like you're turning your back on yourself or the other person. It's more like you're finally facing yourself, like who you are now. You might be turning your back on who you used to be, but it's only because you need a different view. And that's like in all the across the board. So a different view for your inside, outside, everything. So Aries season has a lot of like tough love for everyone, I'm realizing. Is like, yes, you're amazing, and these things come up, and you still have to choose yourself in the healthiest possible way. What does that look like? And we're being really asked to leave a lot behind, especially last season was about seeing those cycles and starting to really end those cycles, especially moving into like this really new time that it can seem not new, and yet when you can like see that it is. And there's a lot to create, there's a lot to do, and if you're gonna be here, Aquarius, just be that you are. And I think this reading is wanting you to do that, so that by Taurus season you have not only an answer, but you're really sure about the answer. That even by, I don't know, the next week, you're like, oh, no biggie. Just like, it's time to just go this way for a while. And we've been talking about this a little bit, and now it's just time to like kind of move on it. And more so, it seems like having the swords come out and these certain cards is that you might have to say a few things too. And then really act on them. So, very cool. Very Aries season. Not so much fiery as it is like just very clear and concise. And we'll look at them, and yeah. So information below to work with me. I have my website up so you can book me there, and we'll look at the cards, and I'll see you next season. Okay, Aquarius? Bye. Hi, Aquarius. So, Aries season is basically like a straight shot for you. It's this the weighing things out. So, as the sign that's named the humanitarian, it's also important for each season to remind us why we do what we do, or what we do what we do. And this season's about the self. This season is about the chance to, I guess, claim the parts of us that have always been there, the newer parts that are becoming bigger, while we let go of the older parts. Let go of the cycles, let go of the ways where we have gone back and forth. If there is an Aries in your life, Taurus in your life, that you're weighing out, then it just seems like, is it really about you? So if it's romantic, that's what this is reading. If it's about you, then as your focus ought to be is about you. Sorry, sirens. So it seems in Taurus season, as it approaches, it's going to become rather urgent that you make that decision if this is romantic. If this is not romantic and more about how you want to affect change while you live out doing what you want to do and what you desire to do, get really clear about what your values are. A lot of times the ways we were stuck, propose the questions that help us become unstuck, help us move forward. So everything that has brought you there, so maybe reflection, so that when life comes to offer you this thing again, you can really ride with it. And rest at ease knowing that when something, these can be very similar. When something appears to be really pushing something or offering you something, but it's more about them than you, it's more about you, them wanting your validation, or them wanting your support instead of what you can give to yourself, then it's time to question and ask yourself, is this really worth it? I know it's scary to do and set off on your own, but then you'll have more freedom, more energy to put forth what you've already worked hard on, even if it wasn't for you right away, and to ride forward with different opportunities that you might even bring to the table. So this month is about you seeing everything you've set into motion, and now it's time to act on what you've set into motion. Like, it's been waiting, you've been shifting in different ways like you like to. It's like, okay, this is done, and then this is done. You know, it's very like doom, 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 boom, boom, boom. And now, in order to receive all of that other ends of things, it's time to make the decision, be clear about it, and keep going with it and act on it. It's very important for this time for you to see that. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy, and it might show up. It's very straightforward. If you're in this spot, it's very straightforward. Because when we make decisions that are better for ourselves, but not better for the, like, and they become maybe worse for other people in terms of getting your attention or your energy or your resources, whatever it is, and now you're choosing to give it back to yourself, then life's going to offer you opportunities to consistently turn that down again. Because it's like, the more you doubt yourself, the more life's also like, hey, are you sure? Are you sure? And you're like, yeah, I said I was sure. And I'm like, but am I sure? Yeah, it's about being really sure. It's like this doesn't want to get your emotions involved, but you actually need them involved a little bit here. And I hope that's clear. It seems very straightforward, very clear. Putting your foot down. The cutoff last month. Now is the time to like, whew, make a clean slate. It's a blank slate now. And there's discipline that comes with it. Much luck too. And there's discipline that comes with it. And there's a lot of freedom and creation to come with it too. So that is for you this month, Aquarius. Again, information to book me below. And I will see you next month. I love you.